Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So go ahead and just start hitting some balls.
Okay.
Take ball in hand, just shoot some shots,
Okay.
and I'll just watch you for a bit.
Sure.
Twofer. How long have you been playing?
I mean, just all recreational, like maybe like 10 years.
Okay.
But I never really got like, I feel like I never really got better in terms of like getting to like where I'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more uh, like like I think my biggest flaw would be like figuring out like, where the ball usually goes. Like the simple stuff, like sure,
Mm-hmm.
but then also like yeah, I mean like ball control and even like straight shots sometimes, right? Like I know this is like a eight footer,
It's a 7-footer.
7 footer. On the 9 footers, right? For example, like straight shots, like all from like one corner to the corner. Like sometimes like my stroke, I feel it's pretty good, but the other time it's kind of like it's like way off, right?
Right.
So like that's stuff like I'd like to like get better at. And cuts, I'm like okay, like occasionally here and there, like I'll be able to like make cuts.
All right. Pretty nice run, actually.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right. I think we got some stuff to work with. Good. So, I like to focus for your first lesson on the fundamentals.
Sure.
You can put that here if you want. If you want a place to rest it, I got one here. I got one over on that side. So, so the fundamentals basically is the stance. So how you approach the shot, your grip. I see some things we can work on there.
Perfect.
So we'll definitely spend some time on that.
Okay.
The bridge, your bridge seems pretty good. It looks like you use an open bridge for the most part. Do you know how to use a closed bridge?
I do. I think for draw shots, I think I will tend to use closed, or sometimes if I want a little bit more force or control,
Right.
I'll use a closed bridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good. And then of course the stroke. Okay. So let's just start at the beginning and talk about the stance. Okay.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and grab that. I'll grab mine so I can demonstrate some things for you.
Perfect.
So your stance, for the most part, it looks pretty good. Your feet are pretty close together.
Okay.
And what that tends to do is it tends to raise you up a little bit. You're a little bit up higher over the table. If you want to get low on a shot, you've got to bend way over. Whereas if your legs are further apart, it's a little easier to kind of squat down and get a nice. So that's one of the things that I noticed was that you shoot from up here. Not necessarily a bad thing, but when we're working on your aim, you're going to want to be able to sight right down the length of the cue. And it's a lot better if your face is closer to the cue. You don't shoot a gun like this, you shoot a gun like this, right? Does that make sense? So so your stance. So let's go ahead and just line up as if you're shooting a ball.
Sure. Okay. So
just do what you normally do. Don't worry about. Okay. Your stance is pretty good. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna push you for a second.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So that's good. You can resist. Means you're stable. You're not off balance or close to off balance. What we want is to focus all of our energy on shooting, not on balancing yourself. You'll see some people when they shoot, they lean on the table, or they're just like off balance. If your body is having to focus on keeping yourself up and keeping yourself balanced, then you can't focus on the shot as much.
Got it.
So I think you're pretty good there.
Okay.
I don't think we have much to work on there. We
matter?
can tweak things as we go.
I was kind of trying to figure out does it matter if it's two foot apart or one leg in the front? Does it matter if one's straight or bent?
If I'm teaching somebody from the very beginning who's never played before, I usually tell them about a 45-degree angle. You're pretty close to that.
Okay.
Okay. So from this line here, you don't want to be like this. This is a snooker stance. They do that so they can get right up on the table and get up, because the table's so big. So that's just like a standard snooker thing. You'll see some people are almost in full line with the shot. But I like to open it up. It doesn't have to be exactly 45 degrees, but you just kind of open the angle up. The idea here is when you're shooting, you want your core to be right in line with the shot, right? Well, the problem is if your entire core is in line with the shot, your body obviously can't be in the way. So you step off to the side and you're kind of bending over this way, right? So being at a 45-degree angle allows you to do that. When you bend over, you're right in line with the shot, your body's out of the way. That's the whole idea behind that.
Gotcha. Okay.
When you're doing a 90-degree like this, then you're having to kind of cock your hips out a little bit to get your head in line with the shot without your body being in the way. And that can be a little bit uncomfortable. Like I said, snooker players, they practice that a lot. But that's not something that you want to do. I think your stance is good.
Okay.
If it helps you, if we start talking about trying to get down a little further on the shot, if it helps you to spread your legs a little bit, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Because trying to, with your legs close together, this is different than this, right? This kind of gives you a little bit more of a steady base, allows you to kind of squat down a little bit more to get your face right in the shot.
Okay.
Okay. So let's move on to the next part.
Sure.
And that's your grip. Now go ahead and get down on the shot and I'll show you a few things. Okay, a couple things here. One, your wrist is bent. You're kind of like this. Okay?
Okay.
Don't correct anything right now. Just go ahead and just want to point these things out.
Sure.
The other thing is that your hand is kind of back like this. So your wrist is cocked, not only bent this way, but it's cocked forward a little bit. You see that? And then the other thing is your elbow is out here, whereas your stick is up close. What you want is your elbow to be right above the stick. This is what you want. You want a pendulum, right? It's gonna. You don't want to be in like this because then you're kind of doing this. It's exaggerated, but it's harder to maintain a straight shot. But if you're straight up and down, you see that? So what we want to do is we want to correct all three things.
Okay.
One, we want our wrist to be straight up and down. And the best way to do that is to kind of train yourself to do it. Is take these three fingers, hold the cue with just these two, take these three fingers and point them straight at the ground. So when you're down like this, they're pointed straight at the ground.
Okay, 3 fingers.
Right. So fully extended, pointing at the ground. Not like this, but fully extended. When you fully extend them and point them at the ground, it straightens up your wrist. See that? Okay. And then you want your wrist to be straight up and down, and you want a single pivot point here. I'm going to show you why. So hold your stick just like this, and grab it with your fist. Okay. Now you notice when I move your stick, your wrist moves. Okay. We don't want our wrist to move when we're shooting. This is an extra joint that's moving. It's going to cause problems with your shot. Okay. Now what I want you to do, let's use this finger and your thumb. So grip the cue with those two, and leave the other ones loose. Okay. Just this one and your thumb.
Oh, the middle, you said?
Yeah, just the middle finger. Okay. Now you notice. Look at that.
Oh, the wrist
right?
don't move.
Wrist doesn't move. Doesn't need to. Right. And if you think about this, hold on. When you're doing your stroke, you're moving the hand, right? We don't want to move the wrist. We don't want to be locked in and moving our wrist like that. We want the wrist to be locked. I use these two fingers. I showed you that with these two, but whatever feels comfortable for you. If you like these two, that's good. Leave the other ones loose. If you prefer these two, that's fine too. A lot of people use just these two fingers.
Okay.
So whichever one feels good to you, that's what I would recommend. The other thing is you don't want a gap, okay? So you don't want to be doing this, okay? You want fully close it, not a grip that it's gonna, you can't. I actually use what's called a slip grip, right? You'll see me when I'm shooting a lot, you'll see that I kind of slip because it's going to depend on where my bridge is. There are some shots where I want the bridge up close.
Right.
And there's some shots where I want the bridge farther away. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
So when I get down on the shot, I don't know where my hand needs to be on here. The rule of thumb is that this hand and this hand are always going to be the same distance apart. Okay, when you're down on a shot, okay, if I'm far away, see the distance between my thumb here and my thumb here is the same as if I was down here. They're exactly the same distance apart, but I have to move because I move forward on my stick here. I got to move forward on my grip.
Stick. Okay.
Right. And as I make the bridge longer, my grip moves back, but it doesn't. The distance between this and this don't change. Right. So you're not getting down on a shot like this, and then going up and having your hand way back there. You want your back arm to be straight up and down. This way and this way. Straight up and down at the moment of contact. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So this is kind of what it looks like. Watch this back arm here. The moment of contact, I'm straight up and down. When I follow through, it's forward. When I come back, it's back. It's a pendulum. See that? And you'll notice that all I have to do is just follow through. With that pendulum swing, and you'll get a very consistent shot every single time.
Okay.
Okay. So to recap, number one, you want your wrist to be locked with your hand, with your arm. Okay. You want it straight up and down. You don't want it to be like this. You don't want to grip like this. You want to grip with 2 fingers. Either these 2 or these 2. I suppose people could do that, those 2 if they felt like it, but the whole point being 1 pivot spot so that your wrist doesn't move.
Got it.
Right, and it's a fairly loose. You can move the stick, but if you had to, you could easily slide on it too. Right. It should be, most shots should be a nice loose, a loose grip, loose delivery. Just kind of let the cue do the work. Right. Let the weight of the cue do the work. I'm gonna put my little sticky. I need to put my glove on. This weather's crazy.
Definitely.
In the 90s
definitely
this week.
Oh yeah. Hopefully just this week.
Yeah. All right. This is something you might consider doing, getting yourself a glove if you ever get real serious about playing. What's nice about it is you don't need powder. Having a carbon fiber shaft is nice because you don't get the residues that you do on here as much. So a nice consistent feel on the shaft is really nice when you're shooting. A glove helps that with that.
Got it.
So again, to recap, so single point, straight up and down. You want the elbow above the cue. Okay, you don't want to be in here.
Okay.
You want it to be right here. And the point of contact at the middle of your swing is the point of contact of the cue. That's why this arm needs to be straight up and down. Okay, so let's try a couple of those. Actually, you just go over there, shoot these balls in here. All right, so what I'd like you to do is kind of take that foot, move it out that way just a little bit. Okay. That has the effect of making it so your arm is not close to your body. Right? You want this straight up and down, right in line with the shot. So you're kind of like this. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to kind of pivot your body away just a little bit from your stick.
Okay, from the stick. So
there you go.
Okay.
So what you're trying to do here is your back foot, like this part of your foot here, should be in line with the shot. Okay. If that's in line with the shot and you're about a 45 degree, it should line you up nicely. Okay. So the line of aim of the shot, your back foot should be right on that line.
Is that better?
A little bit. Here, let's try this. So what I want you to do is I want you to spread your feet just a little bit more. Okay.
I gotta get used to when I get it. Okay.
All right. So get down on the shot. And what I'd like you to do is roll this shoulder back a little bit. There you go. That has the effect of straightening out your elbow there.
Okay.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to point that elbow straight back, right? Instead of being down like this, you're back like this. See that? When you're like this, your arm tends to want to be in like this. Okay, your elbow's kind of chicken winging out there. But if you roll your shoulder back, it kind of straightens everything up. It might feel a little bit weird because you've been doing it a certain way for 10 years.
Right. No, absolutely.
We're just trying to overcome that.
Okay. And maybe, okay.
And it'll take some practice. You might not feel it right away.
So rolling it and then just like moving it back.
Yeah, you're not really moving it back. You're just kind of rolling your shoulder back like this.
Okay.
Now, we're going to move on to another part of this whole pre-shot routine and all about the stance, and your approach is kind of part of the stance.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'd like you to start doing, let's move this up a little bit here. What I'd like you to start doing is I'd like you to step back
mm-hmm.
and look at the line of the shot.
Okay.
Just an imaginary line straight through where you're aiming. In this case, it's right in the center of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Through the cue ball and back, right? Just line.
Okay.
That line is going to drive where your foot goes, where the cue is going to be lined up, where your shoulder is going to be. Your shoulder should be over the stick, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why you needed to roll it back so that it's right above of your stick. Mm-hmm. Your elbow, everything, and your line of your eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all of that in this line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the only way you can see that is by coming back here, and then you visualize that line and then set everything onto that line. See that?
Mm-hmm.
You just imagine the line right there, and you just kind of approach it. You get right down on that line, and then everything's locked in to that line. It just feels like you can't, miss aim. It's like everything feels normal right there.
Okay.
So exactly, step back. So when you're stepping into the shot, very first thing that's going to step into it is your foot, right? Put your foot on that line, and then everything else lines up.
Doesn't matter if it's the front leg matches up with the back leg.
Your back
leg.
foot,
okay.
Your right foot. Remember to roll your shoulder back. Try to start that way instead of having to roll it back in the middle of your stance.
Okay.
You should just get used to having your shoulder in that proper position every time you shoot. It'll take some practice. Okay, remember your grip. Nice. Okay. Remember, it's the line of the aim. So you're not aiming at this ball. You're not lining up with this. You're lining up with the line of the aim.
Okay.
That's your line.
Yep.
That's the imaginary line that you're lining up on. Roll the shoulder back.
So rolling it basically is just pulling it back.
When you're down on the shot, you are, even though you're at a 45-degree angle here, you're squaring the front of your body up to the shot. You see that?
Okay.
And by doing that, see what my back arm does? I can't help it. My back arm leans in. Okay. So what I want you to do by rolling your shoulder back, your whole body should be in the same plane, same line as your legs, right? You're not twisting. You're in this position. The only thing kind of twisting is your head, right? You're turning your head to be in the line of the shot. Okay.
Try them.
It's better. Really good thing to do would be to set up your phone if you've got to get yourself a little tripod or something. or even just have a friend watch you from the back and watch you from the front. And you'll see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay. I'm sure we'll catch it on video.
Well, what I'm going to do here, you go ahead and try a couple more shots. Let me get this set up.
Sure.
Doesn't seem to want to work today. That's all right. So what I'll do, all right, go ahead and get down on the shot.
Okay.
Just don't mind me. All right, so what I would like you to do is shoot this way. I can get a shot behind you. Now, square back roll back your shoulder. All right, let me show you what I'm looking at here. It's kind of hard to see it in this shot here. But your shoulder, you see how your shoulder's kind of down a little bit? And this one here, you can really see it. So you got your shoulder kind of dropped and your elbow kind of out that way. If you can get your shoulder rolled back and get you almost want to step your body away or kind of lean away from the shot a little bit, keeping your head in line with the shot. You can get your body to move over and your shoulder to roll back. What we're trying to do is trying to get this whole thing right here in line with the cue. Okay?
Okay. I'm just trying to see, like, how I feel now, like comfortably. Like, I think naturally I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do I so normally I would just get down. Yeah. And this is kind of like, and then I would just kind of like shoot just like from this position. But you're saying like right now it's round. It's not round.
You're doing this, right? You see how my
this looks closer. Yeah. Like,
so what you want to do is you want your
step aside.
you can close your stance a little bit to get your hips out a little bit.
Okay.
And if you can get your shoulder, so you can.
Okay.
Yeah, what you want to do is you don't want to be in close to your body like this.
Right.
What you want is your arm to be straight up and down like this. You see that? It might feel a little weird because it feels like you're doing this, but that's what you want. You want your back arm, and you can just look as you get down on the shot. You can look back and see, is your arm straight up and down? Is your elbow above the cue, or is it out over it like this?
Okay.
Right. If it's like this, then just move your body a little bit and feel what that feels like. Right. It feels like you're like way out here doing this, but it's the proper way
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So like there's so instead I see. So instead of being like close.
Yeah, you don't want it tucked into you. You want it out. You want it to be out here.
Oh,
And then all you have to do, the whole reason that you're at an angle over your stick is that, see, right now, here's my stick, right?
mm-hmm.
Standing up straight, where's my head? It's not over the stick.
Right.
But as I bend over, my head is in line with the stick, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so is my shoulder. Look at this. Shoulder and head are at a 45-degree angle to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm trying to do is line those two up together, right?
Okay.
So when I'm like this, my foot, the toes are just behind my toes. The ball of my foot there is in line with the cue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'm standing like this at about a 45-degree angle, and then I bend over, and my shoulder is right over the stick. See that? And my head is over it too. Now I just have to turn my head so that my vision center is right on the line of aim. My shoulder hasn't moved, right? And as long as everything's lined up right, my arm is going to be straight up and down. My shoulder is going to be in line with the shot, and I'm not going to be tucked in up close like this. All right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why don't you try that? Just put your cue down. Now, put the ball of your right foot right underneath the cue. Okay, so the ball of your right foot should be right here. Okay? Let's see.
That.
There you go. Perfect. Now, you'll notice that your head is currently right here. Okay? Now, just kind of spread your legs just a little bit and just bend straight over your stick. There you go. Now, you'll notice so go ahead and do that again. See where your shoulder and your head are? That's perfect. That's where you want it to be. Okay? So let's take the next step. Bend over. Okay, now just grab your stick and just keep it on the same line. Just go ahead and pick it up and bring it back, but you're on the same line. So bring it back like you're gonna shoot a shot. Okay. Now move your hand over so you're on the straight line, this line. Same line that you were just on. Okay? Your shoulder doesn't move. Okay? So your back arm is going to be straight up and down. See, this is the shot right here. Okay? Stay right there. Pay attention to how this feels, okay? Because this is how your shot should always feel. See that? See how your back arm is straight up and down, your shoulders in line with the stick? This is the proper way. Okay? The only thing I would suggest is kind of don't extend your arm out like this. Make sure that it's bent a little bit as when you're bridging. Okay? That means these two spots are going to be closer together, which is good. You find your comfortable spot and it'll always be like that. If you bridge up close, so go ahead and bridge up close to the ball. You're just going to scoot that up. Now remember these two fingers. There you go. Point the other one straight down. There you go. See? Nice and straight. Now relax your fingers. Everything is nice and straight. Take a few practice swings. It's going to be difficult because I see you like doing this and then you kind of sink into what you've been doing for the last 10 years. That's the hard part about teaching a student like you who's been doing this for 10 years, trying to kind of unlearn some things.
Got it.
It doesn't mean that you have to do this perfectly. I'm trying to make you aware of the best practice.
Right.
If you find something in between the two that work for you, and your game improves and you're doing it the way you want to do it. Look at players like Francisco Bustamante.
Mm-hmm.
They have the most horrible stances and swings, and they do all kinds of little things, and who am I to tell them that they're wrong, right? But I can tell them, hey, you're not using the fundamentals, but they don't care. They've been doing it for 30 years.
How crucial is it to like bend all the way? Because I've seen some older folks, right, when they shoot, they hardly bend. They just look over the ball, and
that's probably because it's painful for them to bend over a lot.
Okay.
It's hard on the back. But if you get a good proper stance, you can spread your legs farther apart. Bend your legs, and then get your face right down over the shot, right, and still maintain that straightness. I find myself a lot of times getting down on a shot kind of like this. And it feels like it's okay, but my shoulder feels like it's like rotated in the wrong direction. It just doesn't feel proper. So I'll stand up, I'll kind of rotate it a little bit. Kind of kind of thrust my hips away from the shot a little bit.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that feels much better. Everything's nice and straight. So it's something to work on.
Okay.
I don't want to, spend the entire 2 hours talking about this,
sure.
but
okay.
Be aware of that.
Okay.
You're going to have the video.
Perfect.
So you'll be able to watch back and remember everything we talked about.
Thank you.
Okay. So we talked about the grip. We talked about the stance. Part of the stance is the approach. Remember to approach your shot from back here. Okay. This is everything that we're doing is all part of what we call the pre-shot routine. Okay. The pre-shot routine is where you get in the zone. It's where you get into that Zen state, right? Where you don't think about it anymore because you're doing the same things every single time. How long have you been driving a car?
Long time.
How much did you think about driving the car when you came over to my house?
Nope.
Not at all. You're probably listening to the radio. You're probably looking at things around you, checking the directions, right? You didn't think about how much gas to put on or how much you're having to steer or anything like that. That's all baked in, right? That's what we're trying to do is bake all these things in till you get to the point where you're not thinking about it. You just get down, shoot the ball. Get down, shoot the ball, leave the cue ball there. That's what you ultimately want to do. You tell your body to do that, and your body subconsciously just does it, right? So part of the pre-shot routine, and from this point forward, I'm going to remind you very often, grab that piece of chalk. Okay. Chalking your stick is very important, and you should be doing it on every single shot. That doesn't mean that you have to chalk. That means, go ahead and hold on to that one. What that means is part of your pre-shot routine. You can do it while you're trying to figure out the shot. It's just kind of like a little subconscious thing that you do. You won't even think about it too often. But you're not going to do, I noticed you chalk pretty well. You're not going to do the drill, right? Or putting it on the ground and We've seen people do stuff like that. What you're doing is going back to kindergarten, coloring between the lines, right? All you're doing is just covering the entire tip with a nice even coat so that you can't see any dark spots, any changes in colors. It looks nice and even. That's all you have to do, right? Sometimes chalking is this, right? It looks good. I don't have to do anything. When I'm using this is the master chalk, it comes off pretty easy, but when I'm using this $30 chalk, this stuff doesn't come off the tip very easily. So I could probably shoot an entire game chalking one time. I don't, but because I always check, because that one time you miss cue and then there's like a little bald spot on the edge of your cue. You got to make sure you get that stuff chalked up. So part of the pre-shot routine, chalk. I want to see you chalking on almost every shot.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's a straight in shot or if you're putting a lot of English on it.
Mm.
Okay. So your pre-shot routine, you're looking at your shot, lining it up. You got the chalk in your hand. You might be doing this. Some people just kind of chalk. And then at some point you should look at it, make sure everything looks good. Put your chalk down. Look at the shot. See the line. Step into the shot. Take a couple practice shots or strokes. And then deliver. So the last part of that, well, we'll talk about the bridge. But the last part of that is the stroke.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that you tend to have a quick stroke, and it's the same almost every time. So what you should do is you should learn part of eventually learning how to control the cue ball is how much power to use.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's first and foremost, how much power. So you don't want every single shot to be a slam, 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 slam. Sometimes there's nuance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the way I teach most people in the beginning when they're trying to learn how to vary their power is bridge length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bridge length along with a standard cadence. So when you're shooting, you're going to do this. You're going to get down the shot, get your aim. You can do the practice strokes like some people do if you want to. I tend to like to just make sure my aim looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit of a feel for it. When I'm ready to shoot, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every time. Now, the reason I do that count is because I can do that cadence for any shot. Here's the cool thing. I'm shooting the 2 in there, but I want it to barely go in, right? I want a nice soft shot. So what do? I shorten up my bridge. Remember that the distance between this thumb and this thumb is the same every time. So I'll be choking up on my grip. If I do a long shot like this, my grip is way back here,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if I'm up close, my grip is up close. So I'm going to be like maybe 3 inches. Now the bridge isn't the important thing. It's the length of the stroke. I could do exactly the same shot here, and I usually do. But I try to teach people to vary their bridge length because it forces you to limit how much you can stroke, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're back here, you can stroke this much,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to do a soft shot from way back here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the length of the stroke. Notice I'm doing about 1 inch, right? 1 or 2 inches. 1, 2, 3. Same cadence, and my delivery is exactly the same speed as my practice strokes, right? I'm not doing 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
right? Same thing. If I want a hard stroke, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, right? I'm gonna shoot harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to try that. Remember, approach the shot. Stand up. Approach the shot. Look at the aim. Find the line. Line everything up. Okay, let's keep that shoulder back. Kind of move your hips away from the shot a little bit. There you go. Now bring your shoulder back. There you go. Okay. So now, as your stroke, so I want you to only use about this much of a stroke. If it helps, move your bridge up, but only about a 2-inch stroke. Okay. When you're ready to shoot the shot, take a 3 count. Count it out. 1, 2, and then deliver on the 3rd.
1, 2, 3.
Exactly. Your delivery deliberately must be the same as your practice strokes, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. All right, same shot. Now I want you to use a little bit longer stroke. This one's going to be about 4 or 5 inches. The same exact shot. Okay, you're aimed way out here. So let's make sure, stand up, make sure that you see the line of the aim. Right. So the line of the aim for your cue ball. And let's keep the cue and your shoulder and your elbow and everything on that line. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to come back about this far, about 5 inches. Okay, that's going to be your stroke, is about 5 inches, and do your 3 stroke a little bit farther. There you go, just like that.
1, 2.
Hold up. So I don't want you to do 1 and stop. The whole idea behind the cadence is to have a steady 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't stop. It should be a nice smooth back and forth. Okay, just get the aim, get the feel for it. Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Okay, so you're going to come back to about here. Okay, so you're going to start here and you're going to go 1, 2, and then deliver. Same speed on all 3 of them.
1, 2.
No, hold on.
Oh.
Okay, this was your cadence on the first one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. That same exact speed, that same exact cadence. 1, 2, 3. Okay. When it's a small stroke, 1, 2, 3, it's a soft shot. When it's a longer stroke, 1, 2, 3, it's a harder stroke, right? Because you're doing the same count, but for over a farther distance. So you have your stick is actually moving farther, right? If I have a nice long shot like this, 1, 2, 3, right? So that's the whole idea behind the cadence. So you're not doing 1, 2, not doing that, okay? Same cadence every time. 1, 2, whatever your cadence happens to be, you can pick whatever cadence you want, but it should be the same cadence on every shot, no matter if it's a small stroke or a larger stroke. Okay. Make sense? This is going to be a medium stroke shot, okay? So your stroke's going to be about 5 or 6 inches in length. Once you got everything ready and you're ready to shoot, then you're going to do 1, 2, and then deliver. So that's how you control your speed, okay? When you're stroking, it's very important that you follow through, okay? Sometimes a really good way to practice is to get on a table on this line right here, okay? Just get down on that line. Make sure everything's lined up straight. You can put a ball next to the rail or a piece of chalk, whatever you want. And that's this midpoint, right? That's where you're going to strike the ball and practice your stroke. Your stroke Should go all the way through, and it should touch at the bottom, because what's happening is your back arm is coming up at the end, right? Just like that. And it should be right on that line. It should be going straight through the ball every time. Follow through. You don't want to do this when you're shooting. This is not what you want. Okay? This is the important part of when we're talking about the stroke. The speed of the stroke that we were just doing, it is important, but it's not really part of the fundamentals. It's more of delivery and actually, part of the shot itself. Okay?
Cool.
We good so far?
Yep.
All right. Why don't you run a few balls? Take ball in hand, and then try to run these out. Or look at your back arm. You want it to be straight up and down. When your tip is right up against the cue, you want your back arm to be straight up and down. You're a little forward. See that?
So back out.
You're like this. It should be like this. Move this back like that. Straight up and down. If you want to shoot a harder shot, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that your delivery is smooth, okay? You don't want to jerk back, okay? A lot of people have a tendency to, because they're thinking power, so they're like maybe gripping a little harder, and then they're using their muscles, and they're like, Let me show you something. I'm going to power this ball in, but I want you to observe how much power, how much speed I actually use, how much it looks like I'm exerting in my body, okay? There's not a whole lot of power there, right? What I'm doing is I'm accelerating the stick, right? So what I'm wanting to do is, I need a little bit more power in my arm, right? But it's just my bicep. All I'm doing is just, right? Other than that, I'm not doing a really fast. The problem is if you do a really fast back stroke, then you're using all your power to slow that stick down to make it go forward. Why use all that up, right? There's no need for that. All of your power is going to be for going forward. So I want a long stroke so I have time to accelerate. and then I can deliver the power. So if you want to deliver power, I want you to try this. Let's shoot this into the corner. Use some power, but I want you to think accuracy, and I want you to think acceleration from a long bridge. Okay.
So basically one fall through.
Yep.
Punch through. Okay.
Now, with something like this, your cadence doesn't really apply. The cadence is really for soft shots to medium shots.
Okay.
For something like this, when you have to use a little bit more power, you're not going to be using power on every single stroke, right? So really, your practice strokes are more just for getting a feel for that you're aimed correctly and that you're going to deliver. And then you're going to deliver with acceleration. Think of it in terms of acceleration, not power, not strength. Nice. I want you to slow down on your backstroke, though, okay? I want you to pause even on the back. Get back here, pause, and then deliver. Okay? Nice. Nice. And honestly, you'll probably never have to shoot harder than that. You'll see people who slam these balls in, but there's just no need for it. Even with a draw shot, right? If you have a good technique on your draw shot, nice and low, you can get plenty of draw without having to power it, right? So the shot that you just shot, say 99% of your shots are going to be not as hard as that. The break shot is probably the only one where you'll have to shoot harder.
Okay.
And this is actually, a break shot is actually a really good way to practice this, because when you're breaking, a lot of people tend to want to just put their body into it, right?
Right.
Put all their power. But that's not good. The best thing is technique, hitting the head ball as square as possible with some nice acceleration, right? You can work on that and get more and more acceleration, but the technique is the first thing you should be working on. See another one. Okay. Do you know what you did there?
The ball was spinning.
No, not worried about the spin right now.
Okay.
Did you? How did that backstroke feel?
I didn't pause.
You didn't. No, it was very quick backstroke. So it's easy to fall into that habit of got to put some power into this. So okay, just remember that imagine that you're going up to slap somebody, right? What are you going to do? You're going to come back and then you're going to right? That's what you're doing. Okay? You're not or even if you're boxing and you're punching, you don't come back like this, right? It's all of the power is going forward, not the power coming backwards, right? Backwards is loading up. Playing a game of pinball, what do? You pull the plunger, boom, and you let it go, right? That's what you're doing here, okay? Load up, deliver, okay? And you don't have to deliver super power, just good acceleration. That's all that matters. Good, straight acceleration. Nice. That was much better, much better. All right. Let's run these balls out, and then we'll start talking a little bit more about. We'll talk about position.
Okay.
We'll talk about what the cue ball wants to do. We could probably spend 4 hours talking about position play and how to run tables and all that kind of stuff. But we got to start somewhere.
Okay.
And the place to start is understanding where the cue ball wants to go when you shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that. Go ahead and run these balls out.
Okay.
I'll take that. Remember your approach. You want to line up.
Yep.
Line up your shot. Nice. Let's straighten out that wrist, okay?
Okay.
I want you to observe something real quick. Go ahead and stay on that shot.
Okay.
Since you leaned out over this shot,
Mm-hmm.
your back arm
Mm-hmm.
naturally is straight up and down.
Oh, okay.
The table's forcing you to lean way over,
Mm-hmm.
and you naturally are in the right position. Most of your shots, you're still tending to do this.
Okay.
Right? But on this shot, because you had to lean over the table to get to this shot,
Right.
it's forcing you to be in the right position on your back back arm.
Okay.
So just try to feel what it feels like.
Okay.
And try to emulate that on all your shots.
Okay.
You don't have to have a table in your way in order to get the right
Sure.
right position, right?
Okay.
Foul.
That's foul.
Gotta be careful with those. Nice. Good cut shot. All right. Can you tell me what your understanding is about the cue ball path after it hits a ball?
Sure. So I've been watching all YouTube and I've tried. So I know about, I don't know if I know, but it's more like I've heard the 30, 60, and the tangent rule where, let me try to think. So like if it was here going down straight, it would just follow.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was shooting at an angle, let's say this guy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I imagine there's a little ball, so I need to aim here. So when the cue ball hits that, right, I imagine that it would go bam, and I would say like out that way.
Okay, you're close. You're close. I think you're kind of mixing up a couple of different principles.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, let's use this as an example. Let's just put this right on the dot here. Actually, we'll use this one because this dot is where the ghost ball is. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the ghost ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's where the cue ball is going to be when it hits.
Mm-hmm.
When the ball, because these two balls are the same mass,
Mm-hmm.
you've seen those Newton's cradles on people's desks.
Mm-hmm.
Where it
Pendulum.
does the thing like that, right?
Right.
They're the same mass. Therefore, when this ball comes in here like this ball moves, and this one stops.
It transfers,
right?
yeah.
Right. So the reason that it moves forward is because it's rolling, and we'll talk about that. But if it goes in and just slides, then it stops, and this one keeps going. Okay?
Okay.
So we can kind of think of it in terms of this ball is moving in this direction towards this ball, about that much, but it's also moving in that direction, right? Because we're doing this. So it's moving in this direction, and it's also moving in this direction.
Right.
And we use those two because of the tangent line. The tangent line is that imaginary line that bisects this connection here, right? If you take a piece of paper and slide it between the two of them, that's the tangent line, right? It's 90 degrees to the line of A. So we take that tangent line and we come out here to this ball, which is going to be moving the same direction as the tangent line in this direction, this much. It's also going to be moving in this direction. The thing is that when this ball hits this ball, it can no longer move in this direction, right? It's going to transfer all of this motion into this ball, and it's going to go into the pocket. So the only motion this has left is that direction, right? It's coming in like this and hits here. It can't move this way anymore, so it moves along the tangent line. That is essentially how it works. So if we emulate sliding the ball in, and we slide the cue ball in, you can see that it goes off at 90 degrees, right? But that's not how the physics on a pool table work. That's the very simple, man, I don't know where that came from. Jeez, you do clean these things. All right. So what happens is there's friction on the table. And the friction on the table causes this ball to roll. It's not sliding. It's not frictionless, right? It's not sliding in. It's rolling it. So it hits this. Initially, it moves in this direction, but it's also rolling in this direction, right? It's still spinning in that direction. And that's what causes it to move forward. Okay? So the straighter your shot is, the straighter the forward roll is. If we come over this much of an angle, we go about 3 times that angle in this direction. That's just kind of the rule of thumb. Not something that you really need to know, but you should visually be able to comprehend that when you shoot here, you're going to hit the rail about there. When you shoot here, you're going to hit the rail down here, right? It comes in and goes bends forward into the rail here, right? Obviously, if you do it there, it's going to hit the rail over on this side. Does that make sense? So just understanding that basic principle will help you to understand where the cue ball is going. Okay. So how do we change that? How do we affect it? We can put all kinds of spin on the cue ball, right? The thing to understand is that there's a lot of rule of thumbs about where the cue ball is going to go. There's 30-degree rules, and there's half ball hits, and there's all kinds. One of my favorites is this one here, where we have a ball on the diamond, one diamond away from the pocket, and you shoot at a 45-degree angle. To put it in here, this ball is going to scratch. That's a rule of thumb. It's a 1 to 4 ratio, right? So if this were half a diamond away, half a diamond times 4 is 2 diamonds. So if you shoot it in from about a 45-degree angle, it's going to hit the rail right here, right? Half to 2, it's a 1 to 4 ratio. It's a neat little rule of thumb that really kind of helps you determine, am I going to scratch or not, right? So if you're 1 diamond away and you are more than or less than 45 degrees from this straight angle, then you know you're not going to scratch. It's going to go a little more forward.
So when you say 1 diamond, so these are like one.
Yeah,
from
1
here.
diamond means I'm this far away. So this is 1 diamond away from the pocket.
Oh, okay. Okay, using that. Okay, so like a grid. Okay,
right,
so
exactly. If we drew lines where the diamonds are, it's a 4x8 grid on the table. So this is a diamond. This is on the diamond. Right?
Oh, okay. And you're saying
it's on. So, it's on this diamond and it's on this.
It's on diamond. Okay, so one diamond. So you're saying if I try to hit the cue ball from 1 diamond,
45. Yeah, 45 degrees away. So from here, 45 degrees. So if we go 2 diamonds this way, we go 2 diamonds this way. Right? That's 45 degrees. Now go ahead and shoot that. Shoot that into the side. Just a nice medium shot. Straight into the side. Hit a little bit high on the ball. Don't hit low. And a medium shot. There you go.
Oh, if I made it.
You'll notice you hit here, right? So you hit it a little thicker. And because of that, it didn't go in. It's like you subconsciously don't want to scratch.
Yeah, I always have kind of trouble actually cutting into the sides. Even like easy ones, I tend to miss them for.
I'm going to show you a couple rules of thumb that you can use for different cut shots. Okay. It'll kind of help you. They're just so you know. Look at that. Ooh, very close. If I tell you a rule of thumb, it's for you to be able to use it and practice it. But what we ultimately want to do is we want you to get to that Zen place, right? We want you to just instinctively know these things.
Right.
Rules of thumb help you get there a little faster because they help you set things up so that your brain can start to understand them, and then eventually you'll just intuitively know them.
Right.
Okay. So one of them is the 30-degree half ball shot. Okay. So what I'm going to do. Okay, this is where we want the cue ball, right? Okay. So what we're going to do is create a little pyramid right there, or a little triangle. Now, do you know how good your math and geometry?
That's okay.
Okay. So this is an equilateral triangle. If we drew a line from the centers of these 4 balls, equilateral triangle, right? Okay. Each angle is 60 degrees. So if we cut that in half, that's 30 degrees, right? Okay. So if this is a straight in shot, this is a 90-degree shot, this in this line is a 30-degree shot, right? From here to here is 30 degrees. We just established that. The difference between these two is 60 degrees, right? Those two are in line. Those two are in line. The difference between these two is 60 degrees. The difference between these two is 30 degrees.
Okay.
So your cue ball is in this line. So the reason we set it up like this is because then you can put your cue ball right on that line, right? Now, if we were to draw this triangle, again, that's 60, 60, and 60, right? So that's so through this line between this and this, that's 30 degrees. We're on that 30-degree line, right? Because we already established that before. We're on that 30-degree line. So if we're on the 30-degree line, then basically we're aimed at the edge of this ball. Does that make sense? So you don't need this anymore. You don't need any of these anymore. Just aim at the edge of the ball. Don't worry about your contact point. Your line of aim is right at the edge of the 10. That's a half ball hit. Half ball hit is a 30-degree angle hit. Make sense? Go ahead and shoot it. All you have to do is aim directly at that edge. Simple as that. So if you want to figure out if you're at 30 degrees, you can draw a line here. There's a couple of ways to figure it out. Let's say you have this shot right here. And you want to know, is this a 30-degree shot? If you were to draw a line here, and then draw a line here, so let's put a ball right there, and then another one the same distance away, equal distant from this ball. We're basically drawing a clock face, right? And then another ball here. It's almost perfect. So this is probably a little bit less than 30 degrees. If it were here, and this were here, and this were here, you see that they're equal distant. Each one of these is 30 degrees of a 90-degree angle. That's a 30-degree shot. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is to imagine, well, really what you're doing is you're trying to figure out the angle to here, right? So you imagine this triangle and then figure out if you're on that line. Now we drew a line directly to it. Obviously, being over here is 30 degrees to this ball. Does that make sense? And again, once you've established that you're at 30 degrees or close to it, it's a half ball shot. Go ahead and shoot it. Remember, very, very precise. Aim it directly at that edge. Nice. And then boom, right in the center of the point. Cool?
So I guess so sometimes I have questions about, like, especially like cuts, right? So for example, let's say I get a ball in hand, I have one ball here, and then I get a ball in hand. Like sometimes like I don't know, like, where do I put it? Like I know, like, angle wise, right? For example, like if I want to get the ball all the way down there, I need like a steeper angle. But sometimes it's like where, like, when do I want it to at an angle, right? Like for example, like the toughest part or the challenge is figuring, okay, let's say I'm at an angle. Where would this cue ball go right now? Or versus like it's out here. Versus
like where would it go, down this way?
Yeah, like so if I just hit, like, let's just say like something like center ball, right? Like where would it naturally, like if I was thinking, right, let's say if I'm hitting it here, right? I hit it, I'm always thinking, okay, I just imagine like it's just gonna bounce off the rail and go that way.
Here's a rule of thumb that you could use. Let's see if you understand this. It can get a little bit complex. Okay, let's just say this is right on the diamond here. Okay. So it's one diamond away. And your ball is right here. Okay. So if you drew a line from here to where you want to hit, it's going to cross this diamond, which is the same distance, right? It's going to cross this one right about here. Right there. Take this distance here to the rail. and multiply by 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, since you're hitting, actually if you hit here, so this is where the ball would hit on this diamond, right? So we want to know where it comes off this way. So again, it's crossing this diamond, which is double the distance from this ball right here, right? So this is the distance, and we just go 1, 2, 3. So if you shoot that 4 with natural roll forward, you should hit the rail right about there. So go ahead and give it a try. A little bit more speed and hit a little bit above center. There you go. That's the general rule.
So the math is you're saying two, so you're counting the diamonds.
Basically, the angle coming in, right, is going to, it's going to be 3 times that angle coming out.
Okay.
It's a general rule. It's not always true, but you know, so if you're trying to figure out where is this ball going to end up on the rail, something like this, it's basically going to come down this way, right? It's difficult because it doesn't really apply when you have an angle like this.
So I think most of the time it's kind of like, okay, I have like these longer rail shots, right? And then like I'm cutting, or I attempt to cut it, right? I was getting confused, like where do I expect the cue ball to finally land? I would think like it's like boom. I would imagine like out here somewhere.
So this is the kind of thing that you should practice.
Okay.
You should just say, if you want to know what it's going to do, hit a whole rack of balls doing exactly the same shot, right? Put this in the center of the table. Put this one about half a ball out on that diamond and shoot it. Go ahead and shoot it. Now, shoot the same way every time. So if you want to know what's going to happen when this thing's just rolling with no English, then roll it in with no English, okay? Every shot. Center ball, a little above center. There you go. And look where it came. Now, I want to show you something. You'll notice that this shot was approximately 45 degrees. And what did it do? 4 to 1. Right? Just like I showed you before, had a 4 to 1 ratio. It went, right? That's what it followed. 45 degrees. Instead of coming straight out this way, for every 4 diamonds that went that way, it went down 1 diamond. But you don't have to know that rule to understand that's where it went. So shoot it again. Same shot. No English, a little above center. Now you'll notice that in that case, you shot it into the rail.
Right.
So it didn't go as deep this way. So that's why you need to make sure that these shots, shoot them exactly the same every time. If you're just trying to figure out what's going to happen, shoot it a little closer. Okay. Just make sure you hit it a little above center so it has the same forward roll every time. You put some right-hand English on that one. And also notice that you kind of went back to some of your bad habits. Make sure that you're always conscious of the fundamentals that we've gone over.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna take a lot of practice. And
It is. You should have focused practice where you're focusing on the fundamentals.
Right.
Because if you get on and practice and you're practicing some shots, you'll forget about the fundamentals, right? The whole idea behind the practice is so that you'll get to a point where your body does it automatically.
Right.
But until you're doing it automatically, you need to consciously do it. Because you're going to go, 10 years, you're going to go back to the same thing you've been doing, right? Okay. Remember that grip. Straight up and down. Point to the ground if you have to. That's better. Yeah, that looks good. Take a breath. So you're putting a little bit of right hand English on it, and that's actually kind of a corrective English. A lot of times, if I'm shooting a shot like this, and let's say my next shot's right here, right? I'm gonna shoot this one almost instinctively. I'm gonna shoot, but I'm gonna put some right hand English on it because that'll make it come straight across, maybe back a little bit. So I have a shot on there. But if I'm practicing, I'm just trying to figure out where the cue ball normally wants to go, then I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit center ball. Make sure I hit it right down the rail. Don't hit the rail with that 5-ball. And you'll see where it wants to go. And just do the same shot. And it goes to the same place.
Yep.
If you can get that repeat, then you know that you're doing really good. So I want to show you, before you've got to go, I want to show you a few drills that I'd like you to do.
Yeah.
One of them is one you've probably seen, but I want to make sure that you understand the reason behind this drill. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a striped ball and you're going to put it on the spot on the head rail. There might not be a spot there, but you can line it up with the diamond. Okay. And you're going to be, of course, the spot I have on there is not exactly on the diamond, but you get the general idea. So what you're going to do with the stripe straight up and down and pointed directly at the other end, you're going to shoot right over this spot. You're going to use center ball. And two things you want to happen. First is you want the ball to come right back to the tip of your cue. The second is you do not want the stripe to wobble. That's what you want. Okay? If the stripe wobbles, I'll show you that. This looks like I'm doing it perfectly straight, but it's wobbling. It's wobbling because I didn't hit directly in the center of the ball. Okay? You need to be very precise in order to get that perfect straight up and down, no wobble. And then the second thing is you're aiming. If you aim it straight with no wobble, which means you have no side spin, then the ball should come straight back at your tip. Okay? That's one of the drills. Okay? What you can do, especially if you're using blue master chalk, let's get a darker ball in this case. Master chalk comes off pretty easily, which is a good thing when you're practicing with these. So we're going to put this here. Make sure you're nice and chalked up, and go ahead and try the shot. Center of the stripe, and aim it straight at this diamond, straight at this spot. About the same speed you just saw me doing it. You notice how it went off to the side?
Very,
Because you
very,
put a
very
little
rough.
bit of left-hand English on it, and that's why it wobbled too.
Okay.
And you can look at the dot
Mm-hmm.
and see how it doesn't take much. It's not that far off the of the center.
Oh, okay.
What I also want you to do is I want you to get in the habit almost every shot you do, unless you're specifically trying to use draw or slide, is hit at least a half tip above center. Okay. Almost all of your shots should be like this. Okay, not down here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but about half to one tip above center. And the only reason for that is so that the ball starts to naturally roll forward immediately.
Okay.
Something that you should know is if you use extreme top English and hit it really hard, the ball will not overspin. It'll just be naturally rolling forward. So you don't need to use a ton of top spin unless you're trying to impart with a hard shot. If you shoot a super, super hard shot with even this much follow, it'll still slide forward before it actually grabs and starts to naturally. So the reason for hitting it super high is to get that natural roll as quickly as possible. If you're doing a really hard follow shot, you want that to happen so the cue ball is doing that forward spin. It hits the ball, it still has a forward spin and moves forward. No need to do that in this case. You just need about half to one tip above center. Okay? There you go. Not bad, but your aim was way off. It didn't wobble, so that means that your aim, you just actually weren't aimed at the spot. And what's good about this is this kind of forces you to use a couple of different disciplines at the same time. Hitting it right in the center, aiming it exactly where you need to go, delivering a nice stroke. You have to put it all together. And this is really good for practicing your fundamentals too.
Right.
When you need to practice your fundamentals, it's good to have a goal. So this drill is really good for that. Remember, you don't want a gap. Okay. You want a close but not too firm grip. Okay. You just don't want any air there.
Got it.
Remember to hit it above center. Not bad. It's not bad. This is a tough drill, and it's, you can see you hit that a little bit to the right, just a hair, right? But even that little bit is enough to
throw it off.
Yeah. And if it helps you, put the number slightly above center like that.
Okay.
And aim at the number.
Aim at the number.
That'll help you to remember to keep your shots a little bit above center. Ooh, getting there. You see where it hit? Yeah. Since you used the number, it's kind of hard to see it. Yeah, there it is on the one.
On the one.
Yeah, it's a little bit off.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a really good drill to work on your fundamentals while also working on your aim and a good thorough stroke. If you have everything correct here, everything in line, it should be a lot easier for you to deliver nice and straight through the center of the ball. Okay. So how do you feel about draw shots, follow shots, things like that?
I think follows is easier for me. With the draw shots, I feel sometimes maybe I hit it too low and tends the cue ball suddenly jumps, or sometimes it just sticks there, stops there.
All right. I'm going to give you this. This is progressive practice. This is a really good, if you really want to get serious about your practice time.
Sure.
What this will do is it'll help you. It helps you focus on a particular discipline. So, draw shots, follow shots, stop shots, cut shots. Okay.
Nice.
And what this is going to do is it makes your shots progressively harder until you find your break-even point, right? So, for example, let's talk about the stop shot. Now, the key to a good stop shot is knowing how hard to hit the ball and how low to hit the ball. So, for what you want when you're doing a stop shot, or you're doing a stop shot, is you want the cue ball to be sliding into the ball. No backspin, no forward spin, right? Here's the tricky part. When I hit a ball and I give it backspin, at some point it stops spinning backwards and starts spinning forward. So I can do a shot like this, and you can see that it starts rolling forward pretty quickly. See that? Or I can do a shot like this, and you can see that it takes a long time for it to start spinning backward or forward. Right? So if there had been a ball right here at the point where it stopped spinning and it hit it, the ball stops. Right? It has no backspin, no forward spin, no forward roll. That's what makes a good stop shot. So if I want to do a stop shot and I'm nice and close, I can hit it with a good pop, center ball, and it just stops. Right? If I'm a little farther away and I want to stop it, or I want to hit a little softer, then I hit withdraw. And by the time it gets to the ball, it's no longer spinning backwards. You see that? And especially if I'm a lot farther away and I still want to do a stop shot, I hit it even lower and maybe a little harder. So what this drill is going to do, it's going to basically force you to determine on each shot how much draw to use and how hard to hit it. Okay, it takes practice, and that's what this is for. Okay. So what this drill is, and I'll show it to you in here in a minute. Basically, you put a ball in front of the pocket, just off the rail, and you take the cue ball and you start here. Shoot a stop shot. The ball has to stop inside this diamond, anywhere inside here. Okay, it may not hit the end rail. If you roll into the end rail, that's a failed shot. But if you hit here and it rolls to here and the ball is touching inside the diamond, it's still a good shot. Okay, so your first shot is from here. If you're successful, take the next ball and put it here and move back one diamond. Okay, you're going to use 10 balls. If you make them or miss them, you're going to use 10 balls. Okay. Moving back out. Okay. And you're just going to keep setting this shot up. So if you make this ball, what do you do next?
Okay, I stop it right.
You stop it in the right. You made it. Fourth shot, you missed. Right. So you're going to do all of them. You made all those, and you're here. 10th ball. You shoot it. You miss. Cue ball is here, and that's your final score. You make it, your cue ball is here, and that's your final score. Okay, after 10 shots.
After 10 shots.
The idea here is that you're going to find a spot somewhere along here where you're going to make about half and miss about half. You're trying to find that 50% point. That's what this whole point of this is to find out where. And what's really cool about this is you're going to sit here and say, I scored a 4 the last 3 times I did this, but today I scored a 6. I did a lot better, right? You know you did a lot better because you've got the scores to prove it, right? This tells you exactly. You can sit there and practice your draw shot and hit 100 of them and not know whether or not you improved, right? This will tell you whether or not you improved. You do 10 at a time, okay? You don't have to start at 1. If you've been doing this and you're consistently making them all the way up to 3, start at 3, okay? Although, you know, sometimes it's good to make sure that you're still pretty good at the stop shots from the close distances, but you can start at 3 because what you're doing is finding your 50% point. Right, so you do 10 of them, and it's going to find your 50% point. And you're going to score. Okay, and that's progressive practice. That's how all the progressive practices work.
Sure.
Okay. 10 shots. Be disciplined. Be honest with yourself. This is your own personal assessment, right?
Right.
So let me show you how the booklet works. So this kind of talks about what it is. This gives some examples, and then you get to 1A or 1. This is the page that you want to be on. Okay, it goes up to 5.
Okay.
5 is incredibly difficult. This is like pro level here.
Okay.
There is a score sheet in the back, and I will be sending you a link to the PDF for this, so you can print off more score sheets if you want. You can print off a whole booklet for your friends, whatever you want to do. All right, so here's the stop shot. Just as I told you, the object ball stays in that same spot. So what the little arrow means. The gray area is your target. And the cue ball is what moves. And these are 1 through 7.
Got it.
If you get to 7, you just keep shooting from 7. Okay? There are some evaluation systems that are similar to this that give you bonus points when you make 7 more than once in a row. If you want to do that for yourself, you certainly can. This is your practice. This is your assessment. So that's the stop shot. If you want to try the follow shots and the draw shots and the cut shots, they're all the same. We can talk a little bit about the draw shot before you go.
Sure.
But I would recommend that maybe you come back sometime. After this, I do $40 an hour for 1 hour sessions.
Okay.
You can do up to 2 hours if you want.
Sure.
But we can just do 1 hour sessions if you want.
Sure, cool.
And we can focus on very specific things.
Sure.
So the follow shot, you move both balls. They're always 1 diamond apart. And your object is to make the ball in the corner and stop the cue ball in the gray area. Right? So your shot, this is your first shot. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be playing the game. All right, but you're just going to keep moving them back. This is 3, this is 4, this is 5. And again, they don't have to be directly in a line. It can be out a little bit. It can be a little bit of an angle. Okay?
Okay.
The object is make this ball in the corner.
1 diamond apart.
1 diamond apart. Yep. Make it in the corner. And then have the cue ball follow down and be within 1 diamond of the end rail.
Got it.
That's what that diagram means. Okay? For the draw shot, all you have to do is draw back 1 diamond. Obviously, the farther away you are, the harder it is.
Right.
So your first shot's going to be here. All you have to do is draw it back past this diamond. And you're going to move your cue ball back, and each time you've got to draw back past this diamond. Right? So this is going to teach you shooting low and shooting it with more speed. Right? We don't like to say power because power feels like you got to use a lot of muscle. We don't do that.
Oh, so depending, that doesn't matter which diamond you're on. After you hit the ball, the cue ball has to
make the ball. It has to come back past this one. This is level 1.
Oh.
On level 2, 3, and 4, you have to come back to a certain point.
A lot of diamonds. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to have a lot more control. This one is just focused on getting draw on almost any length. Okay. And then the cut shot's pretty much the same thing. Shows you where to put the ball. Tells you. Cue ball is 1 inch off the rail, and you can see it's about a half diamond from the pocket, right? And then you're going to be putting on the diamonds, but down the middle of the table. So your first shot, about 1 inch off, and your first shot is from this diamond. Easy shot. Second one's from here, third one's from here, fourth one's from here. Cut it into the corner each time. Okay? You'll probably score. I've seen you do your cut shots. You're pretty good at those. That's not that difficult a shot. You'll probably score pretty high on that one. I would recommend that you stay in one group until you've mastered them all before you move on to two. But if you're really good at the cut shots and decided to move on, again, this is your practice. You do what you want. You can see this one's a full diamond instead of a half diamond.
Yep.
And you're cutting from these diamonds now. So it's here. You can see that's an easy shot, but these are going to be a lot tougher. Right. So it gets harder as you go in each group. Okay.
Very cool.
So
thank you.
If you have any questions about that, just feel free to email me, and happy to answer whatever questions you have.
No, for sure.
So very last thing, let's talk about the draw shot a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like the draw shot, I struggle when it's obviously like further because it's usually because it stops the ball, which is not what I want. I wanted to draw a little bit more. Right. Or I miscue.
So there's two factors that go into a good draw shot.
Okay.
Can you tell me what they are? We talked about it a little bit.
Okay. Follow through.
Well, what is it that makes a ball draw is what I'm looking for.
Hit below the center.
Below the center, and the friction of the table is fighting you, so what's the other thing? Speed.
Okay.
Right.
Power. Okay.
Exactly. How much power are you putting into it? How fast are you hitting it? Because that'll make this ball spin a lot more, right?
Right.
And hitting it low will make it spin more.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
So let's first tackle the thing that most players are scared of, and that's hitting the ball low. Okay.
Right.
If you have a good tip, and it looks like you do. Let me see. Oh yeah, you got a great tip. And what you want to do here is you want to make sure. Can you hold this one? You want to make sure that your edges, especially, are covered. Okay. So make sure that those are well chopped. Okay. Let's go ahead and get down on this shot. The thing that you need to understand with what happens when a cue stick hits the ball, what happens is this. When it hits it in the center, it doesn't do much except drive the ball forward. When it hits on the side, this ball, by glancing on the side of the ball, it's going to cause the tip to move this way. Okay. Chalk is going to prevent it from sliding on the ball. It is going to drive the ball forward and it's going to give it a little bit of squirt if you hit with English, but we're not going to talk about that today. For the most part, for all intents and purposes, it hits it straight. But the cue wants to deflect, right? It wants to kind of bounce and bend in the direction that you hit it. Now, we're not doing English, we're doing draw and follow, right? In this case, we're doing draw. So what's going to do when you hit low is it's going to drive the tip down towards the cloth. If you hit the ball and the cue tip has nowhere to go, then it's going to stay right there and it's going to pop the ball in the air. Okay, if you ever try to do a draw shot and it pops the ball in the air, that is why, because the tip was touching the table at the moment. Okay, but I can hit just above that and I don't get any pop up at all, right? So as long as you don't hit the cloth at the moment that you hit the ball, you're fine. Okay, you can trust it. Now, the key here is don't do this. If you do this, you're going to scoop it. Okay? You don't want to do that. You want to be as absolutely level as possible. Okay? The other thing is you want to force yourself. It's very common for people to want to lift up the tip, right? They just feel weird shooting that low, and you may have experienced where you thought you gave it drop, but the ball just stopped, right? It didn't do anything. It didn't come back. And that's because you started low, but you lifted up the tip. Now, there is a technique that I can teach you that will prevent that from happening. And it's called the fist bridge. Okay. It's a closed bridge, but instead of this, you're going to make a fist. Okay. You're going to put the flats of your fingers on the table, and your thumb has to be on the table too. The thumb is the key. Thumb on the table. And then you make your bridge. Okay. Now I want you to notice where my tip is. If I go farther back, look what happens to the tip. If I go too far, it hits the cloth. I can't go back too far, right? Because I'm touching the cloth here, I'm on my thumb. I cannot raise it up. I can try, but I can't, right? So I get to a point using the fist bridge, exactly where I want to hit the ball. I can move back and forth to get exactly where I want to be. Want to hit it there? I needed to chalk up on that one. But you see what happened there.
Okay.
Fist bridge forces me to hit low, and it hits low. Okay? So I want you to give that a try on this shot. Shoot the 14.
Fist bridge. Okay.
Close your fingers. Make a fist.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Now, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, so this finger, if you want, pop it out.
Okay.
That helps a little bit. Thumb, though, has to be on the table. Okay?
Okay.
Now, get in line on the shot here.
Okay.
Thumb on the table.
Okay.
Thumb, that is very, very important. So you'll notice this is pretty low. If you feel like that's too low, just move your bridge up a little bit. Okay? Thumb on the table.
Okay.
That's going to be the hard part. You don't want to lift up your thumb. You have to be very disciplined about it. Okay? This is to help you learn to trust the shot. Okay? And just follow through.
Draw back.
What you don't want to do is what you just did now. You hit the ball before it happened, but you do not want to get in the habit of lifting up after the shot. Okay? Stay on the shot.
Follow through.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it looks like this. If you want to give yourself a slight angle so the cue ball doesn't come back into your shot,
sure,
you can do that. But you just do this. And you don't have to have a death grip on it. You can loosen up a little bit, but you need to make sure that your thumb is on the table and the cue is on the thumb. It does not require a lot of power, and you're gonna get really good results.
Okay.
And what you'll find is that you'll discover that you don't need as much power when you're hitting as low as you are.
Right.
And you'll be able to finesse the shot a lot more.
Okay.
When you have to do let's say this is, your last shot and your 8 ball is like right there. And I've been doing this long enough to know I'm not going to miscue if I do it this low. Didn't have to use a lot of power. I just hit nice and low. It was enough to have it stop. Right? If I hit that with a little bit more power, then that comes backwards. And now, if you think about it, this drill doesn't seem so difficult, does it? The one where you have to draw back. So give it a try. Make sure you're chalked up nicely.
Okay.
Make sure that the chalk is on the edges, because that's the part that's actually touching the cue ball in the draw shot. What I recommend you do, try to use your draw shot with a normal bridge. And if you find yourself lifting up, if you find yourself doing stop shots or even follow shots when you think you're drawing, then switch to the fist bridge to get you into the trust mode. Trust that your draw shot is fine, right? It's okay to hit it that low. That's a subconscious torque that we have. We lift it up because we want to hit the ball in the center.
Got it.
Nice and low, and just follow through. Nice, a lot of speed. So this is good acceleration. Not bad. Try one more.
So the cue ball should come straight back to me?
Yes.
Oh.
If you hit this dead straight, okay, when you're shooting this into the corner, you're not shooting it here. You're shooting it straight.
Straight, okay.
Straight into the, so hit the ball center.
Got it. Oh, because it moved to the cue ball moved to the right because it was an
exactly.
angle.
If you hit it, if you're shooting into the pocket this way, then the cue ball is going to want to come off this way. Remember the tangent line.
Okay.
And then with your draw, you're able to pull it back. You want all of the momentum of your shot to go to the draw, not to move side to side movement. Bingo. Now, you shot that from here, so there's a really good chance that because you were able to pull it back this far, you probably could have gotten a good draw shot from here. So that's all a good draw shot is enough power and enough low on the ball. You just have to trust that you're hitting it in the right spot.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep, that helps.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you have any questions about the progressive practice? Just let me know.
Good.
And
okay.
if you would like to do another lesson, I recommend that you work on your progressive practice and you work on that center ball drill. Figure out exactly what it is you might be having trouble with, or something you want to work on. If you want to work on draw shots, if you want to work on jump shots, whatever you decide, I recommend that we kind of specialize. We start narrowing down on exactly what you want to. If you want to work on position play, that sort of thing.
Oh, cool. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I think the fundamentals help me.
Good.
Yeah, I think
That's going to do that drill and practice. Keep working on those fundamentals and take pictures or even video of you shooting from either behind you or in front. Have a friend do it, or set up a you can even set up your phone on a little tripod right here.
Right.
And you'll be able to see. Remember, when you're down and you feel like you're kind of curling everything in, remember that shot where you had to bend over the table. That's really all you have to do is just kind of bend into the shot.
Gotcha.
Remember that thing where you just lay the cue down, put your foot underneath the cue, stand here, and lean over.
Got it.
Grab the cue.
Shoot.
Right? And make sure that you kind of consciously are keeping that shoulder back and over the stick, right? And not doing this.
Got it. Okay.
I think that'll really help you.
I think so. Yep.
All right.
I think so too. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Cool.